Good morning, friends and fellow traders. Welcome to another week of exciting trading and a week that could be a little bit challenging with so many things popping up in the news. The potential, anyway, for those to occur. So, let's take a look at the markets here. First, we have the Dow Jones Industrial Average. Now, the Dow is showing a little bit of bullishness this morning. We've had recent earnings this morning out of Caterpillar that are proving positive, and the Dow is indicating just a little bit higher this morning at the moment. Now, those have been kind of tracking right around flat until that Caterpillar earnings report came out. And we're holding on to this price support. That's a good sign. And we're holding on to this little trend that we have going here. But I got to admit that the market is starting to show a little bit a few signs of stress out there. So you want to be a little bit careful how you approach the day. In my opinion, we'll look at a couple other charts here to kind of indicate that. If we take a look at the SPY also holding up pretty well. We ended Friday holding on to this support. That was a good sign, and we've held on to this trend. Now, depending on where you mark out that trend, that could certainly be different, and it's perfectly okay to see this differently than I see it at the moment. But what we do have to recognize is we're above this support and below all-time high resistance here in the market. Now, it would seem almost unlikely to me that we get this close to an all-time high and the market doesn't try to go there. But we can also see the potential here with a bearish engulfing candle, the potential of failure. So watch these support levels in the diamonds and the SPY. That's going to be really important. Now, the place where the stress is really showing itself is in the NASDAQ. The NASDAQ obviously had a couple of those big tech reports that didn't do very well. And that has investors shaken here a little bit, kicking the markets down ahead of the weekend. We did end up resting right on this support by the end of the day, but certainly showing some concern here. And once again, depending on how you draw this trend line, you could show this as a failure of that trend. We seem to be just kind of sitting right on the edge where anything can happen. And with more than 1,000 companies reporting earnings this week, along with a huge economic calendar with an FOMC announcement right here in the middle of the week and an employment situation report on Friday, we have a lot for the market to chew on. And we should probably expect some volatility at a minimum, lots of turbulence in the indexes as we try to sort through all the data that's going to be barraged upon the marketplace. Let's take a look at the Russell. IWM also kind of making a decision here on Friday. Bearish engulfing, moving on lower here, breaking through this trend. Now, this trend is pretty close to right on. Now, you can see that we have changed the trajectory of this trend a little bit. So we could still find support down in this area and obviously some price support right in this area. But we are showing some signs of stress here on IWM with multiple attempts to break through up here, and so far being unable to do that. And now we're showing the other direction is highly likely. Now, other places to look, we had the VIX on Friday really kind of give us a little bit of a fright as it popped up here off of this price support area and got a little bit wild there earlier in the day, pulling back before the end of the day. But little clue here that fear may be creeping into the market, which means that we can get really fast price action moves. and we want to be really careful about how we approach the market. Remember, when the market is turbulent, you want to be really careful not to overtrade the market. You get whipped around a lot. So keep your risk at a tolerance level that you can handle and approach the market with some caution, I think, today. Now, with all these earnings reports coming out, anything is possible. We could certainly move higher. And if we take a look at T21, 22, whoops, T21.22, the 4-week new high, new low ratio, you can see we do have certainly the opportunity. There's plenty of room here to the upside, but we have slipped past that 50% to the downside, and those bearish engulfing candles on the Qs and the Nasdaq would certainly lend themselves to the possibility of more lows to come. So watch that closely. We could see those bears try to take over here, pushing us back down to test some of those key support levels. So watch that closely. We have room to go either direction, but I think maybe a little bit of caution is wise here as we head into this week. So watch it and be careful of signals that could show themselves pretty fast in a market like this. You know, it would take very little to really move this down through that support. And if we get the diamonds and SPY kicking in with the Qs and the Russell, we could see, we could see some fast moves down. It wouldn't take long for those bears to take over. And just a little bit of caution needs to be exercised here. Remember, make sure anytime you have a trade, make sure you plan the risk of that trade, know exactly what you have at risk, and have a plan to exit that trade if it changes its direction on you quickly, because this is not going to be a market to probably rush in and buy dips, because the whip could be providing us with lots of false signals. So watch closely and be careful. On the economic calendar, we have a huge week on this economic calendar, but kind of a slow start to that. We have pending home sales here at 10 o'clock a.m. today, and then nothing much after that to really move the market around. But let's keep in mind that the FOMC meeting begins tomorrow, and that we have the FOMC announcement on Wednesday. That obviously can add some stress to the market. And just you know, what's showing on the calendar right now, we had over 150 companies reporting earnings today. There's over 240 on Tuesday, over 360 on Wednesday, and then over 500 reports expected on Thursday. So even with all of these big market moving type reports coming in, you add all this together, and we have this stage set for some pretty substantial turbulence this week. So make sure you plan for that and trade carefully. So with that, everyone, hey, I want to wish you all a great day. I want to wish you great success. And even though I'm kind of giving you a little bit of pointing, I guess, a little bit toward a little bit of caution, remember, anything is possible. When we have this much data coming at the market, anything is possible. So we need to be prepared for about anything. Can we lift and go higher? Absolutely. There's no reason in these charts right now to suggest that we can't move higher, but there is reason for a little bit of caution, and it wouldn't take a whole lot for those bears to really push us over that edge. So plan your trading carefully, and plan your day as you approach this market with a little bit of caution ahead. I'd sure hate to see folks lose a whole bunch of money by over trading these earnings reports and getting caught up in the emotion of this season. So everyone take care, be careful, have a great day. I wish you great profits. And if this is the first time you've seen these videos, please do me a favor, click that subscribe button. I don't make any money from these videos. I never intend to make any money from these videos, but it's nice to know there's folks out there supporting this channel with those subscriptions at least. And make sure you click that bell in that subscription so that you're receiving notification every time I post one of these videos. Also, you feel free to follow these videos on Facebook, and also please click those thumbs up buttons and drop a comment. I really do appreciate those. Everyone take care. Feel free to share this video, by the way, with any friends and family. If you see anyone that is looking for some help, maybe point them to these videos to kind of get them started for the day. Take care. Have an awesome, awesome day. Wish you great profits. We'll talk to you all very soon, bright and early Tuesday morning. Have a good one.